Please remember that your ticket to this event comes with great responsibility. To conduct yourself responsibly, to be a good sport. School sports.
We've officially hit the back stretch of the MAC Red race with Chippewa Valley in the pace car. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brad Fetters coming to you from Chippewa Valley High School as we get set to call the action tonight in this boys varsity matchup between our own Chippewa Valley Big Reds and the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders. And as I mentioned, Chippewa Valley out in front with a 6-1 league record, 10-2 overall, a full game in front of Dakota. L'Anse Creuse North comes into play tonight with a 7-5 record, 2-4 in MAC Red play. So to say the Chippewa Valley Big Reds are in the driver's seat, it's a little bit of an understatement as they're getting a little bit of heat from Dakota, and they're coming off a loss to those Cougars by the final score of 59-50. In their last ball game last week, it snapped a 6-game win streak for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. They trailed 28-17 at half before kind of making it a contest late in the second half, but just not enough offense to cap the comeback against the Dakota Cougars. Let's meet tonight's starters. First, the visitors from L'Anse Creuse North. They'll line up this way. Number 2, Lorenzo Alfred. Number 4, Juan Caldwell. Number 11, Adam Cook. Number 15, Drew Kozel. And number 24, Connor Kuki. As for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds, perfect 5-0 here at home. They'll go with Isaiah Joliffy. Number 2, senior Devin Lilly. Number 10, senior Ryan Schuster. Number 33, senior Cody Clinton. And number 34, Jordan Wright. Cody Clinton getting the start here tonight after pouring in 13 points in that loss to Dakota, so rewarded with a starting role here tonight. Jordan Wright, the super sophomore, was also outstanding in that game against Dakota as he finished with 12 points. Something to pay attention to here tonight is if we will see Ricky Mosley, the 6'1" senior, quite the lockdown defender for head coach Corey Smith. He was hobbled quite a bit in that loss to Dakota with a lower body injury. This is a L'Anse Creuse North Crusader team that averages nearly 60 points per game while only giving up 49. Chippewa Valley averaging 54 on offense while giving up 50. 59 points they gave up to Dakota was the most they've given up in league play all year, and the second most they've given up all season. So should be in store for a good one. Not quite sure what the delay is on the floor. These two teams did meet. Oh, we're waiting for a third official. That's what the issue was. He's on the floor and we appear ready to go. These two teams met a couple weeks ago, and it was a 56-53 victory for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds on that night. So it'll be Jordan Wright to tip things off along with Connor Kuki. And the tap is controlled by Chippewa Valley. They quickly sprint it to the front court. And it's Devin Lilly with the easy lay-in, gives the Big Reds the early 2-0 lead. Adam Cook directing traffic from the point guard position for LCN. Skip pass, caught at the elbow. Floater from 15 feet is good. 2-2 your score. A little three-quarter press applied by L'Anse Creuse North defensively. Clinton catches, gives to Lilly. Lilly over to Schuster, 3 off the back heel, no good. Defensive rebound ripped down by Caldwell. Caldwell puts a little move there on Lilly. Ball bounces around and was last touched by Jordan Wright. Drew Kozel, another one of those sophomores, as this is a very young lineup for L'Anse Creuse North. Caldwell catches below the basket and lays it in. So a sophomore starting for both teams here tonight. Jordan Wright for Chippewa Valley. Devin Lilly, look out. Coming off a 10-point performance in their most recent game against the Cougars, are ready with a quick 5 here in the first quarter. Alfred catches in the corner. Kuki drives the lane, pulls up. Feel a little bit of pressure defensively there by Jordan Wright. And it'll say last touch by Lance Cruz North. So look out if Devin Lilly is feeling it here tonight. We know he can score in bunches. He had a career high 30 points in their 78-58 win over Lance Cruz. This time it's Ryan Schuster, the 6'2" senior, with the easy lay-in. 7-4, Big Reds out in front. Caldwell, he's probably the player for Lance Cruz North. They need to get going offensively here tonight if they hope to stay with Chippewa Valley. He is an offensive force for head coach Jay Seletsky. Little baseline drive, cut off, they kick it outside. Drew Kozel launches for 3 and hits. Two teams trading early blows here from distance. And it is 7-7. Lilly floats a pass over to Joe Liffey. Holds the ball high above his head, finds Cody Clinton. We know Cody Clinton can hit from deep downtown. This time he takes the feed down below the basket. Flips a pass out of the triple team. Lilly, 3, just off the back iron, no good. Adam Cook comes down with the rebound. Outlet to the head. Caldwell, left wing side. Over to Kuki. And they'll finally slow things down with Cook between the circles. Dribbles that basketball with his right hand, now shovels a pass to the right elbow. Kuki around the curl, straightaway 3 is up, in and out. Tapped around below the basket there by Caldwell, and it's an offensive rebound for LCN. Good rotation around the 3-point line. Good rotation out of the right hand of Kozel. He's now 2 for 2 from distance, and LCN has the 10-7 lead. Schuster bounces a quick pass up ahead, and a lay-in off the high glass by Jordan Wright. Up and down we go, two teams in a full court burst. Fadeaway jumper is good. Juan Caldwell this time. Offensive fireworks from both teams. Lilly forced to pick up his dribble. Joe Liffey, baseball pass to Cody Clinton, and out of bounds. LCN with the lead, 12-9, 4:13 remaining in the first quarter. Juan Caldwell looks over at his head coach, Jay Seletsky. Defers now to Adam Cook. High catch by Kuki. Floats a pass to Kozel. Over to the right wing side for Adam Cook. Crossover dribble, drives the lane, floats one up and hits. LCN right now red hot from the field. They lead it by 5. 14-9 your score, 3:40 remaining in the opening quarter of play. Devin Lilly, he's got the hot hand right now for the Big Reds. 5 points from the 6'3" senior. Schuster, we call him a glue guy. He does a little bit of everything for Chippewa Valley. He can get down and dirty, grab rebounds, he can score points, and he can also hit from deep. Double team comes. Tenacious defense being applied by the Crusaders, and they're rewarded with the basketball, as they'll say last touch by the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. Evan Sturm, the 6'1" senior, into the lineup. Very top of this man-to-man defense for Chippewa Valley. Caldwell catches, goes over to Cook. Cook pulls up, little hesitation dribble. Kozel into the corner for Caldwell. Caldwell tried to drive the lane, nothing there. It's a poor spacing right now by LCN, but they'll shoot their way out of it as it's Kozel once again. 8 quick points for the sophomore. A couple triples, and finally a 2-point basket there. He has half the Lance Cruz North points as they lead it now 16-9. Tough catch for Jordan Wright. Once again draws the double team. Got a tie-up, possession arrow over to L'Anse Creuse North.
And for the Big Reds, it is Ricky Mosley.
So good sign there for the Chippewa Valley Big Red faithful, as Ricky Mosley will check into the basketball game for the first time. He wears 3 in white. As I mentioned, he is a lockdown defender, and he will be assigned to Drew Kozel. They're trying to limit his looks now. Little fadeaway jumper's no good. Harm and the foul. The bucket will count for Lorenzo Alfred. Offensively, LCN's getting everything to go down right now. The looks are pretty clean. And they have now doubled up the Big Reds. 18-9 is your score. 4 different Crusaders have scored. Alfred completes the 3-point play. Double-digit lead, wow. Chippewa Valley fell behind early against Dakota. It was 7-1 after 1 quarter of play as Chippewa Valley failed to make a bucket from the field in the first quarter against Dakota. We talked about how they were able to work themselves back into that basketball game, but it was too little too late as the Cougars pulled within 1 in the MAC Red standings. As soon as that ball left Juan Caldwell's hand, he knew it was good as he raced down the floor. A quick 6 points for Caldwell, and it is all LCN here in the early goings of this basketball game. 21 first quarter points. Deshaun Goodwin to Mosley. They rip it around the perimeter as they swing it over to the left-hand side. Schuster into the corner once again for Goodwin. He gets cut off along the baseline. Lilly will backtrack now. 1:20 remaining in the first quarter of play. Goodwin catches it above his head, goes into the corner for Mosley once again. LCN has just been awesome in this first quarter of play. Schuster nowhere to go. It's Alfred there. They lose track of Lilly momentarily, and he gets it to fall. 8 points for the senior. Cook, a little crossover, jab step. Thinking about the 3, it's Connor Kuki. Instead, he'll go up top to Alfred. Kuki catches it on the give and go. A little turnaround jumper is good. Counted and the foul. Kuki, the 5th Crusader to score. That's a first foul on Devin Lilly. Kevin Carter will check into the game, replaces Deshaun Goodwin. Wow, what a start to this game for LCN. Talked about them averaging nearly 60 points per game, but I don't think anybody could have anticipated that they would put up 24 points here in this first quarter. Most points LCN has scored this season. It was their 2nd game of the year, all the way back on December 11th. They hung 90 on their rivals from L'Anse Creuse. 90-64 was the final in that ball game. We'll see if they got another 90 burger perhaps in store here tonight. 3 on the way. Good answer there for Ryan Schuster. 24-15 your score. Caldwell looks back at his bench. He's gonna have to go. A little step back 3 off the high glass and down. And he looks over at the Chippewa Valley student section. Oh, what a 3 there for Caldwell. And what a first quarter of action out of LCN as they lead at 27-15. We'll take a quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable.
These are some facts about youth alcohol use. While the good news is that underage drinking has declined over the years, rates of youth alcohol use are still high. 30% of 12th graders in the United States reported drinking in the past month. Alcohol use by teens frequently involves binge drinking. Regular alcohol use can damage the developing teen brain, creating problems with learning, memory, and processing information. Youth alcohol use is associated with other negative consequences, including poor school performance, injury and death from car crashes, suicide, mental health issues, and use of other drugs. The majority of those diagnosed with an alcohol use disorder in adulthood began drinking by the age of 18.
A sharp shooting first quarter of play out of the LCN North Crusaders as they end up knocking down 3 triples in the first quarter of play. Some hot shooting has given them a 27-15 lead. Juan Caldwell, the latest to knock down a triple as he calls bank right before the buzzer. He has 9 points already in the ball game. Drew Kozel has hit 2 shots from distance. He has 8. And Chippewa Valley, we mentioned trying to hold serve in MAC Red play. They come in with that 6-1 record. Full game above Dakota in the standings. Chippewa Valley with the opening possession here of the second quarter. Devin Lilly with those 8 points leads all Big Reds in scoring. Schuster had 5, and Jordan Wright had 2. That's it right now for Chippewa Valley. Terrific drive in the lane, contact, and Devin Lilly will shoot 2 free throws. Adam Cook, the guilty party on the foul there for LCN. Lilly able to knock down the first. Second goes down as well. Nate McDonald, the senior, wears 5 in black, into the game now for L'Anse Creuse North, along with Caleb Thomas. Thomas has the ball in his hands, gonna run the point. Caldwell being guarded by Schuster. And tapped out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll stay with L'Anse Creuse North. This L'Anse Creuse North team got off to a hot start. They won their first 5 games of the season. And lately they've been alternating losses and wins. That's kind of been the story over their last 5 contests. Schuster is looking to dump it down. A little backdoor cut by Mosley. Out in transition, Caldwell Euro steps through the lane, can't get it to fall. Out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Crusaders. Chippewa Valley head coach Corey Smith let out a very audible no. He disagreed with the officials' ruling there. Little catch and shoot opportunity. Boy, oh boy. Caldwell really feeling it now. He has been money from the field. They're gonna have to find a way to shut him down. Devin Lilly, crossover dribble, hangs, can't hit though. And the offense coming a little stagnant right now as they continue to be forced into jump shots. Quick turnover there. See if they can get something going here. And a terrific takeaway. Back tap by Caldwell. Up ahead. 3 on the way. Off the front iron. Mosley in transition. Little hesitation. Got his defender in the air. And created that nice little finger roll for Ricky Mosley. Thomas. Quick pass to McDonald. Cook. Little shake and bake. Into the corner. LCN, very patient on this offensive possession, gonna take their time. Cook has it. Caught just outside the pace, contact drawn. Kozel will shoot 2. Ricky Mosley gonna get hit with the foul call. faithful in attendance disagree with that call, as does head coach Corey Smith. Majority of the folks in attendance felt that Ricky Mosley's arms were straight up in the air. Roselle able to hit the first. Isaiah Joliffe will take Ryan Schuster's spot on the floor. Lorenzo Alford into the game as well. So it's a split at the charity line for Drew Kozel. Now we got a foul in the Chippewa Valley backcourt.
Drew Kozel, his first.
As they'll get Drew Kozel for the foul, his first. Just the second on Lance Cruz North. 30-19 your score. A couple ticks under the 5.5 mark of the first half. Joe Liffey has a little jab step, a little hesitation, picks up his dribble. Passes over to Kevin Carter. Joe Liffey got his defender up in the air but couldn't pull the trigger. Carter, a little ball fake, thought he got fouled, no call. The miss is followed up by a make by Jordan Wright. Lance Cruz North a little bit out of control there. As Juan Caldwell put both hands down at his side and said, well, let's just calm down a little bit. Let's slow it down. Lorenzo Alford tried to come away with the steal. No look pass up ahead to Jordan Wright. Wright spins, was out of control, was falling towards the baseline. Tried to save the basketball. McDonald had it bounce off his hands and out of bounds. So we'll stay with Chippewa Valley with 4:47 remaining in the second quarter. Tiptoeing the sidelines, Ricky Mosley's ankle looks pretty good. I think that's what hampered him throughout that Dakota game. Terrific crossover dribble. He gets fouled and will shoot two. Mosley trying to shake off his left hand. He also went and grabbed his elbow. You wonder if perhaps it was a little bit of a knock on the funny bone. Mosley hits the first. Mosley's second, no good. Little miscommunication that time between Adam Cook and Lorenzo Alford.
In now for the Big Reds is Ryan Schuster and Cody Clinton.
Chippewa Valley trying to work themselves back into this basketball game, trailed by 12 after a quarter of play now. Trail by just 8. Schuster bringing the ball up, back in the ball game along with Cody Clinton. Lilly thought about the three, took a couple steps a little bit closer and missed short. Joe Liffey able to create a little bit of separation from his defender and goes up strong with the right hand. Don't look now, but it's been all Chippewa Valley here in this second quarter. Little 9-3 run to start this quarter of play. Cook gonna get called for a double dribble. Just 3 points out of the LCN offense in this second quarter of play. And LCN, gonna talk about it, Jay Seletsky electing to take a full time out. Well, gonna be a full week of action. We hope, fingers crossed, as tonight's kind of the calm before the storm. As a big storm front is moving in. This Chippewa Valley team will hope to host Roseville later on this week in a home contest before going on the road to take on Grosse Pointe South next week. That game against Grosse Pointe South will wrap up their conference play. As for Lance Cruz North, They will host Dakota in a couple nights from now. And that was a Dakota squad that they went in and beat on Dakota's home floor, 66-64. That was a game that aired right here on Chippewa Valley Cable. L'Anse Creuse North also has a makeup game with Sterling Heights Stevenson to play at home before wrapping up their conference play with a road game at Roseville next week. Cody Clinton, terrific find to Ricky Mosley. Beautiful dime from the big man, Cody Clinton. Don't look now, but it's a 4-point game. This LCN offense, which was full of fireworks in the first quarter, has gone silent. Just 3 points here in the second quarter. Caldwell's the hot hand throughout the first quarter. Being harassed now by Joe Lippy. Goes up with a shot, no good. Caldwell able to clean up the mess with a make. Caldwell with 13 points. Lead back up to 6. Devin Lilly catches it at the half-court line. Goes back to Schuster. Goes behind the back and out through the legs. Schuster over to Joe Liffey. Joe Liffey was looking to go to Lilly there on the curl, but couldn't find him. Instead, it's Cody Clinton who bounces a pass into the corner for Mosley. Right back to Clinton. Clinton put his head down, drove the lane, and got fouled. They'll say the foul occurred on the floor, so it will not be a shooting foul. Chippewa Valley will trigger from below their basket. Schuster slaps the ball. Clinton catches, hands right back to Schuster. Schuster explored, couldn't find anything available to him, and the shot there by Joe Liffey falls short. Outletted ahead. We're looking to go to Drew Kozel, out of bounds. Perhaps an ill-advised pass there for L'Anse Creuse North. 2.5 minutes remaining, second quarter of play, 32-26. L'Anse Creuse North out in front. Lilly between the circles. Over to Clinton. Clinton finds Joe Liffey. Joe Liffey back to Clinton. Clinton went up with the ball fake. Cross-court pass to Lilly. Lilly thought about penetrating, instead backs off. LCN faithful making some noise, applauding their defense. Trying to drive baseline Schuster. Got cut off there by Kuki. Schuster now. Back over to Clinton. LCN bench trying to direct their defense into position. Clinton thought about the long-range three. Instead goes to Joe Lippy. And now a foul occurs on the floor. A blocking foul is the call. It'll be the second personal on Connor Kuki, the junior. Joe Lippy, pull up, 15-footer, no good. Caldwell skies up, comes down with the rebound. Goes on over to Kuki, who defers to Cook. Cook has it. Yo-yo's the basketball in the right hand. Finds Caldwell. Skip pass over to Alfred. Alfred drives to his right. Goes back to Caldwell. Ball rolls off the front of the iron and out. Lilly up ahead. 1 minute now remaining in the first half. Lilly drives baseline, draws a double team. Kicks it out for Cody Clinton, who knocks down the long-range bomb. 32-29. What a comeback here for Chippewa Valley. They trailed by 12 and are now within shouting distance. Juan Caldwell to Kozel, who couldn't hit. Mosley into the front court. Lilly looks back at his head coach, and they will hold for one final shot here in this first half. They have outscored L'Anse Creuse North 14-5. in this second quarter. Lilly to Clinton. We know he can hit. His shot falls wide. That will count if it goes. Caldwell's desperation heap will not go, and that will do it. What an entertaining first half of play with L'Anse Creuse North on the road in front, 32-29. Well, prior to the start of tonight's contest, they honored legendary Chippewa Valley head coach Kevin Voss for his 38 years of service to this high school. He ended up finishing with 529 career wins, which placed him third all-time in Macomb County behind only Jim Barker and Greg Essler. Kevin Voss's teams were able to capture 9 division championships, 13 district championships, and 1 regional championship. Let's quickly turn it over now to the pregame ceremony that honored Kevin Voss, and Corey Smith, the current head coach at Chippewa Valley, with the mic.
40% of teenagers surveyed thought that using someone else's prescription medications was perfectly safe, but the truth is prescription overdoses increased 25% in the last 3 years, and it's become the second leading cause of accidental death in the United States. If you have unused medications at home, know that there are safe disposal methods. Contact your sheriff's office or log on to the FDA website. Secure your drugs and let's prevent teenage prescription drug abuse.
All right, one last thing. You can see it over on the west side of the gym. This sign for Coach Voss and his 529 wins will be hung above our bleachers as soon as we can get it done. So, honoring Coach Voss and all he did for Chippewa Valley. Thank you again. First, thanks to Corey. This is unexpected and not needed, but I guess it's greatly appreciated. Just want to thank Chippewa Valley, number one. I was able to be here 38 years, had great kids, great parents, had a great run. And beyond that, I'm a basketball coach that's only had one wife. You're very lucky to do that, okay? And she's the greatest. Probably my number one assistant coach, for sure. I only had 2 assistant coaches on the varsity my entire career tonight. He's not able to be here because of health, but Mr. Larry Clemens was my assistant coach for 36 years. And then I had the pleasure of having my son here, be the assistant coach here for the last 2 years, which was awesome. I was so happy when Corey took the program over. They hired Corey, one of our ex-players. And we had a lot of great teams. There's a lot of players up here that I owe so many great memories to. And I'll never really disappear. I kind of come around, get in the background to watch and enjoy. I've been looking forward to this team right here, the varsity. I had a dream for them a few years ago, and I hope they fulfill it for themselves and for me. One last thing, you work hard. When I got this job, Chippewa Valley had been in the previous 6 years, they had won 16 games and lost 108. And there were 5 Hall of Fame coaches in the division already. And I walked in and I said, you know what, I gotta learn how to coach, because I gotta figure this out. And the hard work of all these players and the support of the school, we were, I guess, at least reasonably successful. So thank you very much, and let's have a great game here tonight.
Welcome back to the Valley, Chippewa Valley. Brad Fetters for Chippewa Valley Cable Television, nearly set to go second half of play. MAC Red action tonight between the Big Reds and the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders, and scored at halftime 32-29. Crusaders out in front thanks in large part to 13 points scored by Juan Caldwell in that first half. But Chippewa Valley able to work themselves back into this game. They trailed 27-15 after the first quarter, but outscored L'Anse Creuse North 14-5 in the second frame. Devin Lilly finishing the first half with 10 points. Ricky Mosley and Schuster both had 5 for the Big Reds. Devin Lilly. And we're gonna get an over and back call. Wow. Schuster kind of hopped over the half-court line and thought he would get away with it. The official right there to call the backcourt violation. Costly turnover perhaps there for Chippewa Valley, as every possession you kind of get a feeling is gonna be crucial, as these two teams traded haymakers throughout that first half. Lance Cruz North got off to a really hot start, pretty much making everything from the field in that first quarter, and really slowed down offensively in the second quarter as the offense really couldn't get anything going. Mosley got his defender out of position, going up strong, and now a block shot. Markuki up ahead. And Caldwell couldn't catch the ball cleanly. He looks over at his head coach, Jay Seletsky, who says, calm down, things will be okay. With 7:03 remaining in the third quarter. Quick catch, a little up and under, no good by Adam Cook. Schuster up ahead into the front court. Joe Liffey splits a couple defenders. Was able to get his body contorted in a way that he drew contact. Was able to also get the shot up. So Joe Liffey will shoot 2 from the line.
His third. Isaiah Liffey to the line.
It's already a 3rd personal foul on Connor Kuki. Joe Liffey's first is through. Second goes down as well. The Big Reds now within a point. They trail 32-31, 6:45 left to go in the third quarter. Cook. To Kuki, back to Cook. Kuki able to drive the lane, in and out, follows up his miss. Saved along the baseline. And they'll say it was off Joe Liffey. Joe Liffey on the baseline. LCN was falling back, and they threw it forward in order to try to save it. So they'll say it was off Joe Liffey. Caleb Thomas into the game. He immediately thought about the 3. His hesitation forced him to keep that ball in his pocket. He'll fall away, turnaround jumper is good. Drew Kozel, 11 points now. He was draining everything from distance back in the first quarter. A little bit of a quiet second quarter for Kozel as he finished with just 1 point in the second quarter. Schuster tried to explore, instead went over to Joe Liffey. Schuster, a little separation from his defender, and that worked out well for Chippewa Valley as the shot went long and right into the hands of Jordan Wright, but he could not hit. Empty trip there for Chippewa Valley. Caleb Thomas. Bounce pass over to Caldwell. Caldwell, explosive offensive weapon. Thomas, corner 3 is good. LCN now with 4 triples in this contest. Lead back up to 6, 37-31. Schuster catches the ball right in front of the scorer's table. Joe Liffey high steps his way through the lane, draws contact, and will shoot 2.
Falls on Drew Kozel.
It's Kozel's second. A couple of the forwards now for Lance Cruz North in foul trouble. Kuki on the bench with those 3. 3 dribbles out of Joe Liffey. And back-to-back makes at the line. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. And now we'll get a timeout call.
Timeout for the Big Reds.
Chippewa Valley decided to take the 30-second timeout. Oh, interesting postseason plan for both of these teams is they will host districts in their home gym. L'Anse Creuse North in a district along with Dakota, Anchor Bay, Port Huron, and Port Huron Northern. Chippewa Valley will host a district consisting of themselves, L'Anse Creuse, Sterling Heights Stevenson, Utica, and Utica Ford. So one would have to think Chippewa Valley will be the odds-on favorite to capture that district, especially with the way they are playing right now. Top team in the MAC Red. L'Anse Creuse North going to have their hands full. It's a tough district, especially with the Dakota Cougars looming. Those two teams know each other well. Lots of battles between the Crusaders and the Cougars. Really nice drive there by Cook. Couldn't get the fall. Rebound by Thomas, but he has it knocked out of his hands. Schuster quickly up the floor. Schuster, cross-court pass to Lilly. Lilly able to float, can't get it to fall. Back tapped out to Joe Liffey, into the corner for Schuster. Takes a couple steps inside the three-point line and turns it over. Kozel over the half-court line, drags a couple defenders with him and will defer over to Thomas. What a drive there by Caldwell. As he cut directly across the lane and went up with the right hand, was able to score. Under 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. Joe Lippy, a little bunny's no good. They'll say the foul occurred on the floor. Foul is Caldwell's first. High pass to right. Schuster wants it. That's his hot spot. Instead, he'll drive the lane, goes up with the finger roll, and gets it to fall. Schuster so good for head coach Corey Smith. Can do a little bit of everything. Nearly came away with a steal there. Quarterback of the Big Red football team as well. Thomas, a little heat check. Line drive 3 short. Offensive rebounds ripped down by Cook, who immediately goes up with the runner and can't get it to fall. Schuster, bullet pass up ahead to Mosley. Mosley bounces it along the end line. Lilly able to drag it down and brings it out now for Chippewa Valley. Long range 3 from the parking lots off the back heel. Tapped out once again by Jordan Wright. They keep the possession alive. Joe Lippy drives into the paint, goes up, scoop, scores. Oh, what a circus shot from the 6-foot junior. 39-37, pass comes into the post. Another turnaround jumper's good. The bucket will count and the foul. Drew Kozel. When LCN has needed a basket, they have called upon Drew Kozel. Folks, he is only a sophomore. Foul call against Devin Lilly, his second personal. Just the first in this half for Chippewa Valley. So Kozel finishes the 3-point play. Lead swells back up to 5. Chippewa Valley dangerously close to not getting that over the timeline. Lilly catches right wing side, directs traffic. Fires a pass over to Mosley. Mosley being harassed there by Silvestro. Silvestro, first action in this game, wears 10 in black. Sinks a little bit further back into the lane as he lost track of his responsibilities, but instead it's a turnover. Caldwell quickly up front, got fouled on the floor. Drew contact. Just the second team foul on Chippewa Valley. Foul called against Mosley. It's his second. A little bit of a battle down there between Joe Liffey and Caldwell. Official quickly came over and separated them. Silvestro. A little bit of a small look here for Lance Cruz North. One would argue they have 4 guards into the game. Caldwell, pull-up jumper's good. He is silky smooth. 7-point lead, LCN. Every time Chippewa Valley's worked themselves back into this game, LCN has been able to create the separation. Mosley up top to Schuster. LCN bench making some noise. Trying to urge their defenders on. Silvestro comes out. Mosley, no room to operate. Lilly asks for Schuster to come over on the curl. Schuster does just that. A little bit of a switch now. Silvestro goes over on Schuster. Into the corner. Schuster's fouled. Can't get the shot to fall. They're going to say 3 shots coming up here for Ryan Schuster.
Caleb Thomas is first. Ryan Schuster to the line, shooting 3.
Schuster's first is short. Wow. Second refuses to fall.
And for the Big Reds is Kevin Carter, and for the Crusaders, Adam Cook.
Schuster, couple deep breaths. Before launching the third, good rotation there. Shooter's touch. Just 1 of 3 there for Ryan Schuster. 44-38, Crusaders in front. 1 minute now remaining in the third quarter. Cook, individual effort out of the junior. Kind of put his head down, ripped the basketball in the right hand and went up with the shot. Kevin Carter to Lilly. Mosley catches, cross-court pass to Carter. Carter up top to Joe Liffey. They rotate it as they swing it around the left-hand side. Cross-court pass to Carter. Takes a couple steps inside the 3-point line. Chippewa Valley drives the baseline now, and Schuster had it stripped. LCN up ahead. Caleb Thomas launches, can't get it to fall. Chippewa Valley gonna have to hurry. Lilly launches and hits the side of the glass.
At the end of 3, it's Crusaders
46-38. Crusaders in front by 8. We'll take a quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television, but when we come back, the start of the 4th quarter of play. Don't go anywhere.
Let's clear the smoke about marijuana. Marijuana and teens, what research tells us.
Did you know that marijuana can negatively affect a teen's ability to learn?
A teen who uses is 4 times more likely to report D grades.
A teen that uses marijuana is 2 times more likely to drop out of school.
Marijuana is not safe.
Marijuana is not safe for our kids. Mobilizing Michigan, protecting our kids from marijuana.
And we are back, nearly set to go, 4th quarter of play, and Lance Cruz North, the visitors here tonight in front of the Chippewa Valley Big Reds, 46-38. We talked about Chippewa Valley was able to go on a couple mini runs there in the 3rd quarter, but they were never able to tie the score. as the Crusaders have been able to squash any sort of momentum that Chippewa Valley has been able to gain throughout this basketball game. LCN had a 12-point lead after 1 quarter of play. 3-point lead at halftime, and now the 8-point lead after 3 as they eventually outscored Chippewa Valley in that 3rd quarter, 14-9. Devin Lilly held off the score sheet in the 3rd quarter, fires a quick pass down below. Ricky Mosley unable to catch it cleanly. Kevin Carter now, he hoists. Can't get it to fall as Kozel comes down with the defensive rebound. Adam Cook walks it over to the timeline, directs traffic with his left hand, keeps the ball in his right. Skip pass inside to Kozel. Kozel just goes up off 1 foot as he pogo sticks it. Now Adam Cook looks to hit from deep. He can't get it to fall. Lilly up ahead, looking for the stretch pass to Mosley. Mosley able to tiptoe the sideline. Schuster over to Joe Lippy. Joe Lippy misses short. Schuster comes down with the offensive rebound. Into the corner now for Carter, back out to Schuster. Chest pass to Joe Lippy. Joe Lippy bounces one over to Carter. Carter, for the 2nd straight time, cannot hit as his shot sails wide. Cook down to his left-hand side. Looking to turn the corner is the LCN offense. Asking for a screen and getting one from Kuki. Into the corner there for Roger Silvestro. Silvestro into the lineup mainly for his defense. The entry pass comes inside. That shot misses its mark. It's hauled down by Ryan Schuster. Up ahead to Joe Lippy on the left wing side. Joe Lippy spins but draws a double team. He's able to find a cutting Kevin Carter, who has his shot rejected. Return to sender undressed unknown. Here comes Lance Cruz North looking to build on an 8-point lead. Cook to his left side, terrific bounce pass, and unable to complete the play is Drew Kozel. Schuster. Tense match up there between Schuster and Silvestro, and another block shot by Drew Kozel. Cody Clinton getting ready to check back into this game for Chippewa Valley. He wears 33 in white, and he is a 3-point specialist. Schuster catches near side as ball rotates all the way to Clinton. Corner pocket 3 is no good. Of course, Ryan Schuster's the man that comes down with the offensive rebound. He goes up and under. 46-40. 5:20 left to go in regulation. Juan Caldwell into the corner, holding the ball high above his head. Kuki pulls up. LCN finds Caldwell. Caldwell, fall away jumper is good. He just continues to impress with 19 points in the ball game. Silvestro comes out, part of that 1-2-2 look now for Lance Cruz North. They'll sag back now. Schuster. And a little pocket change foul call there against Silvestro. And Chippewa Valley wasting no time. They get the ball to Devin Lilly. Need to get him going offensively. A little isolation perhaps. And a timeout call by Chippewa Valley as Lilly had to go back nearly to the half-court line to retrieve that basketball. Head coach Corey Smith not liking what he sees, so he will take one of his remaining full time outs. Well, we talked about the MAC Red race. Chippewa Valley out in front by a full game over Dakota. Dakota on the road tonight, taking on Grosse Pointe South. The other MAC Red game is Stevenson on the road against the Roseville Panthers. This Lance Cruz North team coming into play with a 2-4 record. They're 3.5 games behind the Big Reds in the standings. One would imagine this is a 2-team race now between our two rivals, the Chippewa Valley Big Reds and the Dakota Cougars. As for the MAC White, right now it's the Romeo Bulldogs off to a perfect 7-0 start. Don't forget, we'll have a MAC tournament to close out the season. the MAC Red and the MAC White tournament. It's kind of been a newer wrinkle to the schedule, and it's been a fun one because it gets these teams really in competitive nature and getting used to the one and done format that they will play in the MHSA playoffs. So you wrap up league play a little bit earlier than we're accustomed to, but you get right into that MAC Red White crossover tournament, and that'll be fun. We'll have some really good matchups in that as Romeo Bulldogs, Eisenhower Eagles, New Haven Rockets in that MAC White. Grosse Pointe North, Warren-Mott, and Ford, the other three teams in the MAC White. Schuster shot, he can't believe it. He thought he was fouled, no call. Corey Smith head in hands beside himself as he crouches down. Driving baseline and a foul call on the opposite end of the floor. Ball will go against Schuster. Adam Cook hit the floor. Kind of wipe up any mess he might have made. And now he will take his spot on the free throw line to shoot two. Yep. Before that happens, we're going to get the mop out. Do a little bit of housekeeping. Terrific job by our referee. .403 left to go in regulation, 48-40. Crusaders out in front. It has been a relatively clean game thus far. Neither team really has shot many free throws. So it's a split at the line for Adam Cook. Hesitation by Joe Liffey. Lilly, jab step into the corner for Quinton. He couldn't pull the trigger, visibly frustrated at his inability to get that shot off. This time Lilly's pass is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Chippewa Valley. Schuster to Quinton in the corner. Joe Liffey straight away. Mosley as they rip it around the perimeter once again. Lilly catch and shoot underneath the basket. His first basket in the second half. Gonna need more offense out of him here as Caldwell catches, but a timeout is called by head coach Jay Seletsky. So I mentioned the Bulldogs in front in the MAC White 7-0. Closest team to them in the standings is Eisenhower with a 5-2 record. The MAC Blue, boy, oh boy, that's quite the race taking place in the MAC Blue. Lakeshore, perennial powers back in the 1990s. The Shoreans are 13-1 and 7-0 in the MAC Blue. One of the highest scoring teams in all of Macomb. As they average over 61 points per game. So weather permitting, our next boys varsity broadcast will be Chippewa Valley and Roseville. Panthers coming in here to the Valley to take on the Big Reds. Best way to watch all of our action here on Chippewa Valley Cable is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Chippewa Valley Cable Sports on the YouTube website. Click the subscribe button, and links to all of our programming will be sent directly through your email. Double team comes. Caldwell able to pass out of it. Corner pocket three is no good. Schuster goes high up and able to snag that rebound, and now we'll say a foul call against Cook. And that's the 7th team foul against L'Anse Creuse North. So bonus basketball the rest of the way now for Chippewa Valley, as it'll send Ryan Schuster to the line for a 1-and-1. Schuster just 1 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. Has 10 points in the basketball game. Front half of the 1-and-1's no good. Boy, oh boy, not what Corey Smith wanted to see out of the senior. Cook, the up and under, swatted away by Ryan Schuster. And that just goes to show the tenacity of Ryan Schuster. Didn't hang his head after missing the front half of the 1-and-1, came right back down and made a play on the defensive end. LCN able to get that ball in quickly. Handoff comes to Cook. Cook being guarded there by Schuster. Turns the corner. Cook floats one off the back heel. No good. LCN wanted a travel call. Don't get it. Devin Lilly quickly to the front court. Goes up strong and hits. You really need Devin Lilly to shine through this fourth quarter. 49-44. Caldwell turns the corner, and what do we have here? Defensive foul call. Dangerous looking play as Juan Caldwell hit the floor. Let's say the foul occurred on the floor, so not a shooting foul. Crunch time officially. Lorenzo Alfred back into the ball game for L'Anse Creuse North. Caldwell catches. Will step through. Crowd wanted a travel call. Don't get it. 5-point advantage for L'Anse Creuse North. Schuster back to Lilly. Lilly drives. Little floater. 6 points for Lilly in the fourth quarter. 49-46. LCN does not need to rush this offensive possession. Instead, they will do just that. Jumper's no good. Lilly comes down with a defensive rebound. Up ahead. He hit and one. Things falling apart here for LCN. Devin Lilly has taken over this basketball game with 8 points in the fourth quarter. Missed shots and transition buckets. Opportunity for Devin Lilly to tie this score, and he does just that. 19 points for the senior. Caldwell lost the dribble, out of bounds. We'll say last touch by Joe Liffey. And Cody Clinton was getting ready to check into this game, and his head coach, Corey Smith, brought him right back to the bench. Caldwell, bounce pass. Kozel, his runner doesn't go. He gets his own miss, follows it up with another miss. You know the ball's gonna stay in the hands of Devin Lilly. And now a timeout called by Chippewa Valley with 77 seconds remaining in regulation. LCN has led throughout this basketball game. Had a 12-point lead back in the first quarter and haven't been able to preserve it. They've run into a bit of a buzzsaw in the form of Devin Lilly with 9 points in this fourth quarter. The only other Big Red to score in this fourth quarter has been Ryan Schuster. He has 2. Devin Lilly has officially taken over this basketball game as the Big Reds have outscored L'Anse Creuse North. (11-3). They have gone on an 11-3 run here in the fourth frame to pull even. They'll come out of this timeout with the basketball. Kind of feel like LCN has gotten away from the game plan just a bit in this fourth quarter. Well, and a little bit of helter-skelter on their offensive end. They've rushed some shots up when they didn't need to. And also another important thing to note is LCN has 8 fouls. So it's free throws the rest of the way for Chippewa Valley. The Big Reds still have 2 fouls to give. And now Chippewa Valley will just hold. No shot clock in the Michigan High School Athletic Association game. So they will just hold. Now they'll play a little bit of defense, so Lily's gonna have to go to avoid the 5-second violation. Now he has the ball tapped out of his hands. Good defense applied by Lorenzo Alfred. 53.8. Chippewa Valley, folks, could technically hold for one final shot. Lilly back to the front court, he catches. Being guarded there by Alfred. They cannot foul. Into the corner for Schuster. Back up top to Lilly. Ooh, dangerous pass. Lilly decides to go, drives the lane, hands up to Mosley, who lays it in. Alfred up ahead. He gets it to fall. 51-51. And now one would think Chippewa Valley will definitely hold for one final shot. 15 seconds to go. Coach Corey Smith telling Lilly exactly what to do. Here we go, 5 seconds to go. Lilly draws a double team to Clinton. Game winner on the line and off. And we are headed to overtime. (51-51) after regulation. They'll put 5 minutes, check that, 4 minutes up onto the big board. 4 minutes up on the clock, and we will play on. Everything we could have hoped for and more here tonight. Overtime basketball from Chippewa Valley High School. Big Reds and Crusaders, 4 minutes rather up on the big board. 51-51 our score. And Lance Cruz North controls the tap. We'll have the opening possession of this overtime period. Cook with it to Alfred. Roselle has it stolen. Up ahead to Lilly. He catches up to the basketball, being guarded there by Cook. Lorenzo Alfred hit the game-tying basket for Lance Cruz North to force overtime. Chippewa Valley had an opportunity at the buzzer to hit the game winner. Try to go through Devin Lilly. He couldn't get a shot off, and it was Cody Clinton that hoisted up the game winner. His shot fell short, and that's why we got overtime. And Lance Cruz North gonna take a timeout, talk things over here. 50 seconds gone by in this bonus period. What an exciting game right from tip-off. All kinds of offensive fireworks being displayed by Lance Cruz North as they put up 27 points in the first quarter, but they haven't been able to match that intensity the rest of the way. Just 5 points in that fourth quarter as they got outscored 13-5. This was the Devin Lilly show throughout that fourth quarter. He finished with 9 points in the fourth frame. Currently at 19 points for the ball game. Two teams taking their time coming out of this huddle. Only fitting that on a night we'd honor legendary head coach Kevin Voss. We'd have some overtime. Make the night last a little bit longer. In honor of the head coach. 38 years at the helm of Chippewa Valley. Coach Corey Smith playing under Coach Voss here at Chippewa Valley. Corey went on to play basketball at Adrian College before returning to coach here at his alma mater, JV team first. before giving the keys to the gym at the varsity role now for Coach Corey Smith. Cook tried to turn the corner, nothing there for him. Caldwell's shot might have been altered, perhaps. He rushed it just a little bit. Either way, it was a missed shot there for Caldwell. Schuster wakes his way to the front court. Over to Lilly. Schuster gets it right back. Lorenzo Alfred supplying the defense. A little 1-2-2 look again for LCN. Now a switch as Alfred will guard Lilly. Joe Liffey catches left wing side. Caldwell came over, swatted it out of the hands. Thought he might have gotten a call there, but they'll say the ball will stay with Chippewa Valley. Schuster looking for a teammate. Finds in the form of Jordan Wright. Little give and go action. First basket of the overtime belongs to the Big Reds. Kuki, jab step. Ozell to Caldwell. Cook has it now. 18-footer, no good. And a foul on the floor, just the 5th on Chippewa Valley, so they still have one foul to give. Drew Kozel scoreless in the 4th quarter. Has 14 for Lance Cruz North. And near steal, 50-50 ball. Now what's the call? Everyone waiting now for the official to make his decision. He's gonna say Lance Cruz North timeout. He's gonna say the Crusaders have possession of the basketball. Wow, Lance Cruz North got bailed out just a bit there.
They both have to have possession. That's 30-second timeout, Crusaders.
So just a 30-second timeout there for Lance Cruz North. Extremely lucky call. Weren't sure what it was going to be, but LCN got the timeout called. 53-51. 1:47 remaining now in the overtime period. This has been an outstanding game. Two teams leaving it all on the floor here tonight. Chippewa Valley needs a victory here tonight to stay in front of the Dakota Cougars in the MAC Red standings. Cook catches it in the backcourt, makes his way over the timeline. Forced to pick up his dribble. Gazelle back now to Cook. Cook being guarded by Lilly. Dangerous pass and a turnover. Was looking for Alfred.
Now for the Big Reds is Kevin Carter.
Chippewa Valley going to go with a little look here offensively as they bring out the 6'4" Jordan Wright and replace him on the floor by the 5'11" Kevin Carter. Full court pressure being applied by Lance Cruz North. Cross court pass to Schuster. To Carter. Carter wisely dribbles it back out. Chippewa Valley will look to do nothing more than kill some of this clock, and now we got a foul called. Ninth team foul. So Schuster will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Ryan Schuster to the line.
Schuster tonight 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Missed his last chance. Front half of the 1-and-1. That was back in the 4th quarter. Drills the first, earns the second. Schuster all 3 of the Big Red points here in overtime. Caleb Thomas will replace Connor Kuki in the lineup for Lance Cruz North. Schuster, calm, cool, and collected, drills both freebies and gives the Big Reds a 55-51 lead. Timeout on the floor, minute 13 left in overtime. What a comeback here tonight by Chippewa Valley. Refused to go away. Every time they scratched and clawed themselves back into this game, it seemed like L'Anse Creuse North had an answer. That was until late in the fourth quarter when L'Anse Creuse North could not buy a bucket. Numerous trips down the floor late in the fourth quarter. L'Anse Creuse North came up empty, and it was Lorenzo Alfred that had to supply a little bit of magic to even force overtime. The Big Reds trailed by as many as 12 in the first half. It looked like they might get run out of their home gym, but they have battled back, thanks in large part to Devin Lilly. Joe Liffey gave him a little bit of a lift in the third, and now Ryan Schuster here in the overtime period with all 4 points. The only 4 points scored in the overtime period has pushed the Big Reds in front 55-51. Juan Caldwell, 13 first half points, just 6 in the second half. He looks to drive, and instead we'll have a timeout called by L'Anse Creuse North.
Full timeout, Crusaders.
53 seconds now remaining in the overtime period. Bonus, double bonus for Chippewa Valley the rest of the way. They will shoot 2 free throws at the line. More importantly, perhaps, Chippewa Valley still has 1 foul to give, as they only have 5 team fouls. We'll see if perhaps that becomes part of Chippewa Valley's defensive strategy here. One would think the Crusaders don't need a 3-pointer on this offensive possession. They're looking for points, obviously. We'll look to trap and steal on the inbound pass. And then, unfortunately for them, they will have to foul and look to extend this basketball game. Four-point Chippewa Valley lead. L'Anse Creuse North will trigger the basketball in directly in front of their visitors' bench. It'll be Drew Kozel. Ball at his midsection, fires one in to the hands of Caleb Thomas. He defers to Caldwell. Caldwell was looking for a screen, didn't really get one from Alfred. Into the corner, cross-court pass. Alfred catches and threw it into a triple team. Bounces along the baseline and comes out to L'Anse Creuse North. 3 on the way is good. Adam Cook, what a 3-pointer. And now the foul comes. They're going to put Devin Lilly on the line. And this will be a 2-shot double bonus. 4th foul now on Adam Cook, who drained the shot from distance. Everybody hang on. We are in store for quite the finish here tonight. So glad you decided to tune us in here on Chippewa Valley Cable. Devin Lilly steps up, hits the first. And now Chippewa Valley will take a timeout to talk things over. Devin Lilly tonight a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
Full timeout, Big Reds.
He now has a game-high 20 points. Ice water running through the veins of Adam Cook on that last possession for L'Anse Creuse North, as he's able to knock down the right wing 3-pointer. We drew the Crusaders within 1. They trail now by 2 as Devin Lilly was able to knock down the first of 2 free throws. Still await One final free throw out of the hands of Devin Lilly. Both teams with one final timeout remaining. Big Reds break their huddle. Wait for the Crusaders. It's Lilly, Jordan Wright, Joe Liffey, Schuster, and Ricky Mosley, the 5 on the floor for Chippewa Valley. Lance Cruz North, perhaps a little gamesmanship as they try to ice Devin Lilly. Kozel, Alfred, Juan Caldwell, Adam Cook, and Caleb Thomas. The Crusaders, that will counter here with 24.7 seconds. Lilly misses short. Caldwell comes down with the rebound. And a foul. They're going to call Juan Caldwell for the foul. Oh, my. Oh, crowd reacted like the call was against Caldwell. The foul occurred against Chippewa Valley. They fouled Juan Caldwell. They get Isaiah Joe Liffey for the foul. The way the home crowd reacted, sure looked like Caldwell was going to be the one that was called for the foul. So that's his 6th foul now on Chippewa Valley. So bonus basketball the rest of the way. Free throws the rest of the way for the Crusaders. Pass comes to Alfred, and now Lance Cruz North will use their final timeout. Boy, oh boy, a little bit of confusion, but 12.4 seconds remaining. What will head coach Jay Seletsky draw up? Most important huddle of the evening here for both teams. Caldwell has been the offensive force tonight for Lance Cruz North with 19 points. We know Drew Kozel is a terrific shooter from long range. He's already knocked down a couple triples. Adam Cook has the biggest basket of this overtime period for Lance Cruz North. It too was a 3-pointer. Their only 3 points of this overtime were cashed in by Adam Cook. So it'll be Kozel to throw things in here from the near side. Caleb Thomas has it in the backcourt. 7 seconds. Into the corner for Caldwell. Game winner, they're gonna call a foul! Oh my! They're gonna get Ricky Mosley for the defensive foul, and it'll put Caldwell on the line for 3 shots. The one thing the Big Reds could not do was foul the shooter, and they did just that. Caldwell looks back at the Chippewa Valley Big Red cheering section. They're making some noise. His first is good. Has 2 more free throws coming up. He backs away from the line to compose himself. Dribbles the ball 4 or 5 times. Bends at the knees. Second is through. Tie game. 56 all. And now Chippewa Valley will take their final timeout to try to ice Juan Caldwell and perhaps draw up a play. Whoa, what a finish tonight from the Valley. Unbelievable game. Everything you could hope for. If you're a Chippewa Valley Big Red fan, you're beside yourself. Ricky Mosley got called for the foul. He got hit for Harmon Juan Caldwell in the act of shooting. Caldwell. Just stepped up to the line and knocked down the first 2 free throws. Perhaps a game winner coming up here with 3.7 seconds. 3.7, plenty of time to get a shot off. If Caldwell were to make this free throw, Chippewa Valley would be able to run the baseline on the inbound pass. A make would result in allowing them to run the baseline. Caldwell steps up, drills it. Perfect 3 for 3 from the line. 57-56, LCN in front. Devin Lilly, couple steps behind the three-point line. Hoist it, cannot hit. Corey Smith wanted a foul call. He doesn't get it. The Crusaders spring off their bench in celebration. Juan Caldwell with ice water coursing through his veins. Drops all 3 free throws to win it here tonight on the road. 57-56, your final in overtime. When they needed him, Caldwell came through in the clutch. A huge, devastating loss for the Big Reds here tonight as they fall to 6-2 in MAC Red play, 10-3 overall. The Crusaders improved to 3-4 in MAC Red play and 8-5 overall. Well, this one will be remembered for a long time. It was an absolute classic from Chippewa Valley as Juan Caldwell delivered tonight for L'Anse Creuse North, knocking down all 3 free throws with 3.7 seconds remaining on the scoreboard. Once again, your final score, 57-56, the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders over our Chippewa Valley Big Reds. I'm Brad Fetters signing off one final time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Chippewa Valley Cable.